Hello and welcome to Midtone Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing the newest Ceres album, We Are a Team. So if you didn't know Ceres already from their previous albums, it's their third album and they're sort of an emo rock band from Melbourne in Australia. And yeah, they've released some pretty good stuff. It's more like the old school 90s emo stuff, but has more of a modern sort of twist to it. And yeah, let's get straight into reviewing We Are a Team. One of the main things I've taken out of this album is the singing. It's a lot more lower pitch, it's not as high pitched as the other two albums that Ceres released. And I quite like it. It sort of seems like he's matured a bit. He's not as sort of like aggressive about stuff. And yeah, he sort of takes his time with many of these songs and the drumming and the guitars and everything. It seems like they're a lot more laid back. A bit more like an American football album compared to Sunny Real Estate, or whatever they're called, you know what I mean. I'll pop it up there. Also, the album starts off very quietly with Marriage and Collarbone 2011. They're very sort of quite soft songs. It's quite good that he's worked back on Collarbone because it was an alright track, but I think adding in the additional sort of guitars and bass and drums and that definitely sort of makes it a more powerful song compared to just when it was the acoustic guitar on the Selfish Prick EP. Also, the middle part sort of softened sound a bit after Me and You, has Dancing Patterns and Stay Awake, which are alright songs. They're pretty middle of the road emo songs, but they sound quite good, they sound pretty powerful. Me and You's definitely a powerful song, it's definitely a catchy song as well. I quite like how it sort of plays it sort of safe and has sort of quite a poppy riff. Another song that was released before the whole entire album was Visible in the Front Seat. I think it's more of a transitional sort of track between the previous album and this album, We Are a Team. It does sound good and it sounds quite effective. It's where stuff starts to pick up again, which is quite different because a lot of modern rock bands sort of start off with putting all of their really heavier, sort of faster paced stuff around at the beginning and calm down throughout the album. This album sort of does the opposite, although it sort of calms down the most in the middle and then picks up again with Viv in the Front Seat. There are also quite a lot of different songs which are sort of very good sort of emo ballads, Kiss Me Crying, I Feel Better Outside. It's sort of the usual stuff that you'll get from Ceres and other sort of bands of the type. Oh yeah, final point, there are some really catchy riffs with this album. Dancing Patterns has a really nice sort of poppy riff to it. There's a lot of other riffs like Stay Awake, Fit in the Front Seat. They do sound very catchy and they're really nice guitar work that they could have added in on any other album. But yeah, it sounds very strong and it's just an additional point that I wanted to add in because I just finished recording the video, but it should be just before the actual bit where I give the overall score of this bit over here. It's not a massive jump from the last album, but I think it's definitely a different sound that they've actually released, and it does sound good. I've really enjoyed this album. So overall, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. It could do with a few improvements here and there, but mostly a very strong album, a very good emo rock album, and yeah, I like listening to sort of stuff that sort of takes influence from the earlier emo stuff and builds on top of that, instead of the stuff from like the 2000s, which, to be honest, wasn't good at all. It was just a massive cash grab. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in 2 days' time.